Just general questions. The first one is, what is the purpose, function of the birth certificate?
I'm sorry, again?
The purpose, function of the birth certificate.
It is to register a birth in the state of Kentucky.
Okay, so that was another one of my questions. I'll wait till I get to it. Is the birth certificate considered as identification?
Is the what?
Is the birth certificate considered as identification?
Yes, the birth certificate is the primary piece of identification for all Americans.
So it is considered as identification?
Yes, it is the primary point of identification for all Americans.
I understand that every other document that's issued is based off of that document. But I've spoken to a few other registrars and vital statistics, and I'm informed that it is not identification. So you're telling me that it is identification?
Of course it is. It's a primary piece of identification for all Americans.
Okay. We'll go ahead and go to the next one then. Is the birth certificate a usufruct?
Is it what?
A usufruct.
I don't know what that is, sir.
Okay, so we'll skip that one. Is the birth certificate used to register men and women?
Of course, yes.
So my next question is, are men and women property? Are men and women considered as chattel?
No.
So, because the only thing that I know that you register is your property, like your vehicle, your house, your property. So, if you're telling me that men and women are being registered,
That's not what I'm saying at all, sir.
Well, what's the point of registering then if it's not to register property? What is it for?
The Kentucky Vital Statistics law was enacted by the General Assembly in 1910 and provides for the legal and legalizes the registration of birth and deaths. The registration of a birth and a death is simply to state that these many people were born and these many people died in this area at this particular point in time. It's used for health information primarily, was the original intent.
The original intent, okay. Well, I'm under the impression, or I'm under the understanding that the birth certificate is not issued or considered as identification. So I was just wondering, why is your agency and all other vital statistic agencies allowing the other agencies to demand the birth certificate as identification?
Sir, I told you already, as far as I understand it, it is the primary piece of identification for every American.
Okay.
Since the Patriot Act was enacted, it has become the key piece of information. You have to have it before you can get anything else, including a Social Security card.
Since the Patriot Act, when was that enacted?
I think 2002.
So recently, okay. My next question
I'm not sure exactly. It's soon after the towers fell.
Okay. My next question is it not considered as fraud to identify oneself with a document that is not issued as identification according to the issuing agency, nor does it have any identifying information to identify a person and or people?
Sir, I didn't say that. I said it is the primary piece of identification.
Okay, but other agencies that I call say it is not, so...
I don't care what other agencies say, sir. I'm telling you it is.
Oh, so you are telling me that it is. Okay. Is the birth certificate, why is the birth certificate printed on currency paper?
It's created on certain security paper, and it's not currency paper. It is security paper. It's designed to make sure that it is not duplicated illegally.
Okay. Is the birth certificate considered as currency, valuable and or good consideration?
It is not currency, no.
Is the birth certificate a contract?
No.
Is the birth certificate a receipt, proof held by the owner, sole beneficiary, sole shareholder, administrator of the contract? I'm under the impression that it is a contract.
No, sir.
It is not. Okay, so you probably won't be able to answer the rest of these questions. All right, sir. I thank you for your time. gave misinformation. Every other vital statistics agency says opposite of what he's saying. He gave misinformation. Kentucky's vital statistics